Howdy everyone, welcome to another episode of a Sanic's Drive Along. This time I am driving along the Santa Clara Truck Trail, which is a tollgate located between Sand Canyon and Little Tujunga. And Little Tujunga is my personal home course. It's the one I run the most often. And however, I never came up here to the truck trail because there's nothing really up this mountain besides a gorgeous view and a really kick-ass road. This is a fun road to drive on. This is a fun tollgate to definitely hit and run, but just keep in mind there's still traffic going up and down, mostly because there is a fire station at the very top here, equipped even with a helicopter, just in case of those forest fires. Like the example, the 2016 Sand Canyon fire that happened right here in this area. But besides the point, I want to talk about this particular tollgate itself because it is a fun one. It widens and narrows constantly. As you can see here, I'm going through, crossing into both lanes because it narrows right there, only leaving enough space for one vehicle. And not only that, it's a rally state, essentially. There's a lot of technical corners here. There's a lot of things to keep in mind here, like the sand right there to the left and encroaching sand right there to the right. The rocks are littered across the road here and there everywhere. And also that there's not much room for error on some of the corners. Now that one has a good spot because some trucks go up and down this road, but also that not a lot of traffic actually goes up and down this road, so there's no real need for the county to actually put in more safety measures or guardrails because there literally is nothing up there besides a fire station. So it's not really exactly something that's completely open to the public, although you can still go up there to take pictures and look at the gorgeous view, especially the ones you can see up ahead. Now, as you can see, I'm again crossing through both lanes. That's because I do have a lot clearer visibility. If the camera was attached to my head, you can actually see me trying to look ahead as much as possible to see if there's any oncoming cars, except when I'm going through blind corners. When you go through a blind corner, you should always try to stay on your side, unless you know for 100% fact, like say at night, we can see headlights coming, that there's no one coming through that blind corner. Because when you run tollgates, when you do these kind of runs, you always have to be safe, and you always have to have room for error, a margin of error, because you may never know when you may or may not lose control. You may never know when something bad might happen or when you might underestimate a corner. Just always be careful and be mindful of that. Now, since this is a pretty short course, but it's a really fun course, and it does take a bit of concentration to stay on the road here. Keep it, bam, right there, that's the bump. I slid off, I actually caught some air, and immediately tried to go into that bank rather than trying to stay on the road itself. That is because when you panic, when you try to do something, when something happens like that, you should always think of yourself, not to stay on the road, but just keep yourself safe as possible. Now, you can probably hear in the background that now something is scraping along the ground. I did damage my car slightly. A plastic little part of the underbody came off. Well, still actually scraping right now. I had to take it off later. But that's something to always keep in mind. Always be mindful, not just the cracks and the rocks on the road, but also the bumps. I completely underestimated that bump, caught a little bit of air, and then kind of just, coolly just try to get back, try to recover, and try to just move on. I didn't panic, I moved on, and that's the key thing here. You should never panic, because everyone makes mistakes. Everyone goes off a little bit. You may spin out, you may go off into the bank, you may go into sand, but when you panic, that's when injuries happen. That's when serious damage can happen. So that's why I wanted to show this to everyone, and keep in mind that you should always be mindful of the course you're driving on and drive with a margin of error. So see you next time. Remember, drive safe.